Kenner Star Wars Droid Factory. As I discussed in episode 41 of the Toy Tune podcast, this was my number one favorite toy from the Star Wars movie line, toy line, before Empire Strikes Back. Absolutely love this toy. One of the things I liked about it was the ability to build all these different types of droids. Use your imagination. I always love construction toys, like erector sets, Legos, Lincoln Logs. I had pretty much all those toys growing up. Loved them to death. And this one was more down my alley because it dealt with droids, robots. Love this thing. It's a pretty cool looking toy. Love the box artwork. Kenner did some really great artwork on their boxes, where they show the actual toy and some of the droids being built from. You see the little Jawas on there. That's kind of cool. On the side of the box it shows, which is pretty cool, build 5 robots at the same time, or put all the parts together and make one big robot. That's pretty cool. Also in the box you got this really cool Kenner catalog. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. Here's a little closer view of the catalog. Now this is not the one that came with this set that I have. This is one I picked up not too long ago just so I can show a catalog. I think this is from a Empire Strikes Back toy set because it has Boba Fett in it, but I'm not 100% sure. So open it up and you can see some of the cool toys. Collector case. I had one of those collector cases. Of course it shows Boba Fett, which is absolutely one of my favorite figures I had back then. So some of the other figures you can get. This poor catalog has seen better days. Some of the play sets, like the Jawa play set. Death Star Space Station, that's really cool. The new Imperial Troop Transport. Yeah, this is definitely from a later toy set, not from the original toys I picked up. And of course there's the Droid Factory, Cantina, Creature Cantina. Of course the ships. I love the ships from Kenner. They were pretty cool. Of course, Radio Control R2-D2, Jawa Sandcrawler, Electronic Battle Command. I love the Battle Command game. It is a really cool game. Destroyed the Death Star, Escape from the Death Star. I think I had Escape from the Death Star. I know I had a board game. I'm pretty sure it was from Escape from the Death Star. Electronic Laser Battle Game. That's another cool one. The die-cast ships. Of course, originally I had the Millennium Falcon and Imperial Cruiser. Then later on I picked up some of the other ones. Now I've got pretty much all of the die-cast ships except for the Cloud Car at this time. Some of the larger action figures. I always wanted the R2-D2 because it came with little Death Star plans and stuff. I always thought that'd be kind of cool to have. Never did have any of the larger figures. Of course, the weapons. We had the floppy saber, the inflatable one. Of course, we had the 3-position laser rifle, laser pistol, which those are on my list as well from episode 41. I had those. Jigsaw puzzles. I wasn't really into jigsaw puzzles. You got the boxing bags. The SSP vans. I had those. I have actually made a video on these not too long ago. Of course, the Select-A-Show and all that good stuff. This is from the original release of the toys. That's all they had back in '77 for Christmas. Of course, on the back, some of the other toys they had. Bush and Sundance, early days, action figures and horses. Radar, muscle control machine. I've seen these before. You actually put this little module on your arm, and you flex your muscles to control the vehicle. Cool concept. Never had one growing up, but I think it's got a kind of a cool toy. I may pick one up sometime in the future to make a video on it. Anyway, let's see what else came in the box here. Also in the box, you got this replacement parts mail-in thing you can get. For example, if you lost some parts or something broke or whatever, you can send this in and check off and get replacement parts for your set or get extra parts. This one was dated 12/79. So you get all these different parts here. You can also use this as a checklist. If you pick one of these sets up and it's missing some parts, you can like photocopy this, or I actually scan this in and have it on the Toy Tune Facebook page. It's also on Internet Archive. You use this as a checklist to check off the parts that you've got to complete a set. Pretty cool. Alright, now here's the Star Wars Droid Maker blueprints. They put them in blue and white to make it look like blueprints, which I think is a really cool little thing they did. So the first page, it shows how to assemble the crane to the base, how to step together the permanently assembled parts that you don't take apart again, how to use the connecting pins to connect different pieces of the robotic parts, how to install the hydraulic lines. Here it shows how to install some of the decals and how to build the 5 droids that it talked about on the box. For example, here's the Mechano Droid. It shows what pieces to use to make the Mechano Droid and install the appropriate decals. Of course, the R2-D2, which is exclusive to this set. A Tracto Droid. That's a cool looking droid. Whoops. And of course, the Quad Pod Droid. Little walker. And a Roll-Arc Droid. That's pretty neat. Then, of course, you can combine all of the parts in the set to make the Monster Droid. Where you basically use all the parts in the set and just make an amalgamation of all kinds of pieces to make a Monster Droid. It shows how to assemble all the different parts to make the Monster Droid. All the different pieces. Oh, that's so cool. It's a cool little book. Pretty awesome. And for storage, each part fits in its own little spot on the base right here. And it shows where to put everything for storage. Pretty cool. So now let's take a look at the toy itself. Well, here's a top-down view of all the parts. Of course, we have this really cool movable crane right here that you can rotate left and right, raise up and down. You can hook stuff to it. You can also take the hook off of the end to do other things with it. Get back on there. Come on, get on there. There we go. So we'll take the crane out of the way here. You see some of the parts hidden underneath. Of course, here we have like the pieces to build your own little R2-D2. We have the hydraulic hose tubing right there, some axles, some wheels, some tracks, some various arms. Some pretty cool stuff in here to build robots out of. Now, one of the things that I did, this is the original hydraulic tubing that came with the set. I don't want to cut this up. So I went on Amazon and I found some substitute orange tubing that works just perfectly. So I'm going to use this to make the different robots, you know, when I mess around with this. So let's go ahead and build the R2-D2 unit, which was exclusive to this set. So we have his body right there. There's his little dome, his little head. Try to get that popped out of there. Maybe. Possibly. Oh. Get out of there. Okay. I need a helper. There we go. Alright, so put his head on. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. I think I'm missing a piece. Oh, I need a little these things right here, these little connectors. These are most commonly what are lost out of these kits. So I'm going to put a little connector right there in the body. I had forgotten about this. Then attach his head. There we go. Then I got to find one of his legs. There's a leg. So put his leg on. Snap. Oh, shoot. Sorry, R2. Snap his other leg on. Snap. Ooh, that leg fits loose. Ooh. R2's leg's going to fall off if I'm not careful. And we can also put his little third leg in if I wanted to. It just goes right up in there like so. Oops, that fell out. Yeah, this is an old toy, so all the parts fits really loose. So right there's R2-D2. We can set him right up here. Just like so, with his leg trying to fall off. Oh, R2-D2, he's falling apart. Get back up in there. freaking third leg. Up goes the other way. There we go. Get that up inside. There we go. And his leg fell off again. Yeah, these toys get older, the pieces get really loose. There we go. That's good enough. So there's R2-D2, which is kind of cool. Oh, there went his leg. Pieces back in, like so. His head in there. Give it a little junction block, junction pit. Get out of there. That fits in real tight. And put his body back. So anyway, the hydraulic tubing. Let's go ahead and grab a leg here. So this replacement tubing I found works perfectly. You just press in these little holes in the side, like so. I'm not as dexterous as I used to be. So just bear with me here. Okay, there we go. Got the tubing in. I'm just not as dexterous as I used to be. But it looks really nice. It's pretty cool looking. I'll try to put a link to this hydraulic tubing down below in case you want to get some for your set. If you don't want to use the original hose that came with it. Of course, one of the great things about this toy, it allows your imagination to run wild, where you can create different robots of your own. You know, for example, I could grab like this little base right here. Let's see, what do I want to, I could put like, let's put a little junction block on top here. I put R2-D2's head on there, like so, if I wanted to. Okay, let's give him a little gripper arm. Let's use this gripper arm right here. So let's stick that on, just like that. Got a little gripper arm on the back. Of course, we could make them mobile. We'll put some wheels on them. So we'll just pick up the little wheels and axles. Get those pressed on. Just like so. Grab the other set. The other wheel. And get them pressed together. Oh, his arm fell off. Happens a lot with this toy. Things get worn. There we go. So now I got a little mobile R2 unit with wheels. You can go off-roading. That is a pretty cool toy. This allows you to just let your imagination just run wild and, you know, build whatever you want to. I mean, Kenner really did a good job with this toy. Give you all kinds of options of different things that you can do. Different droids you can build. If you get some extra parts, you can make even more cooler droids. Fun part's taking all this stuff apart, especially the axles. The axles kind of fight you a little bit. They fit kind of tight in the wheels. I guess they haven't been used much in this kit. But you have some various bodies, some different chassis that you can build stuff out of. The little tub chassis here. You got a little flat chassis. Make stuff out of. Different gripper arm assortments. different legs. Some of these main bodies look kind of cool. Little radar dish you put on top. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I used to mess with this thing for hours back in the day. Hours at a time, building all kinds of different robots, things like that. It's actually a really cool toy. That's Kenner's Star Wars Droid Factory. Another one of my favorite toys I had as a kid. Did you have this toy back in the day? If so, comment down below. What was your experience with the toy? What kind of droids did you build? I love hearing other people's thoughts and stories about these vintage toys that I talk about. Anyway, as always, everyone, thanks for watching.
The Star Wars Droid Factory. Jawa action figures sold separately. New from Kenner.